Welcome back to part 4 of our Collaborative Leadership and Practices Learning module. In this portion, we are going to discuss collaborative governing structures. We will continue to focus on this question: what do collaborative leaders and governance structures look like? When we are talking about governing structures, we're referring to the decision-making teams that exist within your school sites. These teams determine how power is shared. Traditionally, in our school systems, we tend to see this top-down hierarchical leadership, where one person is making decisions that will directly affect or impact the stakeholders below them. In a community school, however, we strive for a shift towards collaborative structures, where decision-making power is shared. All stakeholders should be working together to envision democratic governance structures, where all members of the community should have a voice in the decision-making processes. To help community schools thrive and create sustainable change, the overall education system must make sure that the community has a say in how things are done. States, local education agencies, schools, we all need to evolve together to work towards racially just, relationship-centered spaces where power is shared. Collaborative leadership encourages better communication in all directions and sets up a system that can grow the community school approach. As you begin to reflect on the governing structures and teams that exist in your school site, you will most likely find that many of these teams already exist. It's likely that you already have these teams in place and maybe need to reflect on the protocols and practices within those teams to enhance your collaborative leadership. Some examples of collaborative teams that may exist at your school site include instructional leadership teams, school site councils, professional learning communities or grade level teams, parent or student advisory councils, MTSS teams, and perhaps you will be thinking about establishing a community school implementation team at your site. What will be very important to consider is the purpose of each of these teams and how they will work together towards a shared vision of your community school. We invite you to take a look at the resources in your STACS Collaborative Leadership Guide when you're ready to map out the collaborative structures in each of your school sites. To close out this portion of our learning series, we would like you to begin thinking about the following questions. What governing structures or teams currently exist at your site? And within those structures that exist, is power and decision-making more traditional or more collaborative? Feel free to reflect in a way that is most supportive to you and take as much time as you need. As you are reflecting, if you do feel like you have teams that exist, but you're wondering how to effectively implement shared decision-making within those teams, we invite you to take a look at our shared decision-making learning module, where we'll discuss key considerations before, during, and after shared decision-making. When you are done reflecting on these questions, come back and join us for part 5.